Hello everybody and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, broadcasting the Link to the Past NMG League 2022. We got Dark World round 3 for you today. It's Bydey versus Vortex of Doom. Commentating for us, we have Deo and Brain. Say hello everybody.
Good evening everyone. Well, most people at least.
Gamers, how's everybody doing tonight? Dow, how are you doing?
Doing pretty all right. Now that I have a co-commentator, now I don't have to do it all myself.
I feel like at least my last 4 NMG comms have been with you. So we got the late night comms on lockdown around here.
I can't do ones during the day.
No, me neither. So here we are, gaming after dark, where nothing ever goes wrong. Bydey and Vortex will surely have a nice, comfortable run. But it should be a good race. Bydey, top 20 NMG time. Vortex, threat to PB every time he boots up the game. There's not too many guys sub 90 on the leaderboards that have, 5+ blue balls in their PB, so I would not be surprised to see Vortex, PB sometime during this whole league event, if not right now. So
I can only think of one other run with more than 5 or more. And that's Dom's run, and he has 7.
Yeah. It's just there as a monument, I think. There's a couple guys, I think Gem has 6 in his. He's right around.
Waffle has 6.
Yeah, there's not many. There's only a handful. Because it usually means, just the next one is right around the corner. So there might be more than a minute between these two guys PB wise on the board, but not if they both give their A+ run here. So getting started very shortly. It should be a good one. Or, an adventurous run, because when is it not?
How many balls did Bydey have? Speedrun.com says 1. So yeah, their splits are 80 seconds apart, but counting for RNG, it's 40 seconds. It's not much at all.
Yeah. And Vortex is definitely somebody who in the last couple of years has put a lot of time in. He's been very consistently plays a lot of randos and playing a lot of NMG, so Bydey has not been as active lately, and that can sometimes that can make a big difference, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Speedrunning is somewhat like riding a bicycle. Even when you take a lot of time off or you feel like you're super rusty, you end up playing really well because you're paying attention to all the little things that when you're grinding super hard you might be kind of taking for granted.
I think this game, I don't know, at least for me, I don't really forget strats because you do them so much. And I don't know. I even count my pumps, so I know how many pumps I'm supposed to get. But yeah, I don't know. Coming back to it though is always it's hit and miss. You remember how to do stuff, but you can't do it.
Yeah, I definitely think there's parts of my game that are better when I'm a little less active, and there are definitely parts that are not as good. So it kind of washes out, I feel like. One part you never forget how to do, and that's escape. I don't know about counting pumps, but it's a very familiar split for everybody. It's a really good warm-up, I feel like, when, I like to go into my runs pretty cold these days, not spending tons of time grinding some rooms or boss fights in the practice hack. Nice left spin there in that room. That is a hard strat, left spin. But yeah, these guys have done escape a million times. It's a little bit different in a tournament race. Usually escape, pretty low stakes split, but when, when just a couple missteps might mean, you're going to lose your tournament race, it's a little bit more high stakes than any other time you're ever going to run it. So I don't know if that makes that much of a difference, but it definitely is something I feel when I'm running a tournament race.
One thing that definitely happens when I come back, though, is I don't pump as much at first. And Bydey just straight up did not pump in that long guard room, which is it's fine. Whatever. You're not going to win that many pumps in the room, but... And then you play for a little bit, and you're like, I can pump here, and you start pumping everywhere again. And it's awful. Bydey with the 1 pot 4 slash, Vortex going for 8 slashes here. Bydey, good fight, and then Vortex, pretty good fight as well.
Yeah, you can see just how similar all of the strats in this room really are time-wise. You're not really going to lose that much throwing 1 pot, throwing 2 pots. That was one big surprise, really, when I started running the game. This room, it just looks like that 8 slash is so fast compared to the other strats. It's really not that much faster than a good 1 or 2 pot.
Right, I mean, the pot does 4 hits worth of damage, which is like 4 slashes is a little over a second. So if you went out of your way exactly 1 second, it would save time, right? And 1 second's a long time.
Yep.
Only pump's moving right. Well, I don't left pump very much either. I can't reach all the way over to the left button, right? It's so far away. Like right, it's right there. Left is totally on the other side of the controller.
It's so funny to me how everybody has such different methods of pumping. Like, we got some index finger pumpers, thumb pumpers, people who will reach across the controller, people who just straight up won't pump in one direction, which blows my mind. It just... If you're gonna pump, you might as well try it all the ways it's gonna help. But hey, it's not really gonna make much of a difference, so do what you like. Save your hands, save your D-pads, if you have to, I guess.
Oh, Vortex proving why doing things fast is impossible. You want to push it from the lowest pixel just because you don't want to like run into the wall, and then you go too low and that happens.
Especially with the text box. I feel like that text box sometimes helps me time the push, and sometimes that text box throws me completely off. So it is kind of a strange room. Bydey going a little too high there, getting hit by the bat on his way up.
Yeah, he was literally
from both these guys so far.
Literally 1 pixel too high. I kind of make it a point to actually nudge against that wall just a little bit, so that doesn't happen.
First major piece of RNG here, key rat. Bydey getting a very good one, but of course there's another rat in the way, taking his first boom. Pretty quick recovery from that.
Vortex was actually able to diagonal and get past that rat. I was not confident that would be the case.
Safety slash there from Bydey. Ooh. Vortex sneaks around. He had a lot of rats in the way. Usually when you have that many rats in the way, you're going to slash just to kill them all. He boomed, and then the one that he didn't boom stopped, so totally fine. Looks like a 52 out of Bydey, and a not escape splitter Vortex. He's going to split on Sank exit, so I have no idea when he finished the...
I guess it technically says 54, but...
Oh, if you could read, that's right. His splits are very blurry for me, or I'm just very old, but you're right. There is a sub-split for escape, which I guess is a thing that you can do when you split on Sank exit.
I've got to admit, sub-splits are awesome. But they're such a pain for this game.
All my sub-splits are mental. I don't know how I would do seeing my sub-splits on every run. But, look, the more data out of this game, that's one of the fun parts for me about speedrunning, is looking at my own data. So, I'm a fan. Give me more numbers.
I'd like to take data on this screen. How often do you get absolutely destroyed? Okay.
That was pretty sick read there from Vortex, sneaking around that Octorok, losing very minimal time. What looked like a very busy intersection. Oh, unfortunate. Little bad RNG there for Bydey as he booms, assuming that the Octorok is going to go any direction but up, and loses that assumption.
Yeah, the heart doesn't really matter, but it's annoying.
I think a lot of times you're expecting to take a hit somewhere on this overworld segment, so when it finally happens, you just kind of shrug and say, alright, there's like 3 hearts I can pick up in this dungeon.
Haven't been seeing any stair drag cancels, or manual stair drag at least, but
It's
how
light
much
world.
do you care about those like 8 frames or whatever it is?
I will try to do it on some staircases. I am certainly better at it on some staircases than others.
Vortex apparently unaware that you can hold down right after picking up the left pot and just throw immediately.
And there's so many little tiny strategies like that that you don't know until somebody says it, like on their stream, and you say, "Wow, let me try that," and then you try it. It's not exactly evident from watching somebody, but if somebody says it to you, it like changes your life on a certain screen. That's one of those screens for me. I don't remember who it was I was watching. They said, "Oh, you can just hold down right after you pick up this pot, and we'll never throw it in the wrong direction again." And you know what? I've never thrown it in the wrong direction again. Now, the first pot I've thrown in the wrong direction plenty of times.
Bydey is setting up to maybe get big rupees in the back of Escape. Vortex, hard to keep track, but he's probably fine.
It was interesting. Bydey actually slashed the very first Popo at the beginning of Eastern Palace. I don't see that as a strat very often there, but
you can get the drop, so it's like not bad. It does lose 4 frames or so, which is not that big a deal. So they get the same RNG.
Here's a room where the stair drag cancel is very important if you want to get out of this room before this guy's head comes off his shoulders. I'm a big fan of big fan of the rooms where you've got a visual that tells you like how well you did the room at the end of it, including this one that we're entering right now. If these 2 anti-fairies touch on the way out of the room, we know we did the room a little bit slow. If they stay apart, then we did it nice and quick.
Ooh. Or if you get hit, you did it way too fast.
Vortex's anti-fairies were way away from each other, so he must have done that room very fast. I think that's what I was saying, right? We'll go with that.
Yeah. Nice RNG. That was a good
Bydey. That was doable RNG. Okay, risked the arrow drop missing, but didn't get it, so he's fine.
No arrows at all.
Arrow
That
drop
sucks.
there. Unfortunate.
Standard top right from Bydey and from Vortex here. Pretty easy strat, mostly. So
Very nice Eastern Palace according to Vortex's sub-splits there. Bydey also looking like he had a very nice Eastern despite the Sankar pickup for both of them.
Eastern's the funniest because like if you get like a 501 Eastern, it's not that bad if you get Sankar. It just feels so bad because it's over 5 minutes.
Yeah, you get used to, speaking of sub-splits, you get used to seeing certain sub-splits and splits, and Eastern Palace is one of those where you're definitely taking the Sankart, and if you do that regularly, if you don't do that regularly in runs, you're just so used to seeing certain numbers. The rest of your numbers for the whole split are going to look so bad. You know in the back of your head why, but still hard to get over sometimes. First spin speed of the run coming up for these guys. I feel like the first one is oftentimes the hardest, and Bydey is proving that here. Does get it.
Oh,
A little bit. Boy, when that screen goes badly, it's just you can't get off of it fast enough.
Spin speed movement is not easy either. It's always like you're like, oh, you play for a while and you're like, oh, this is fine, and then you do something even just the tiniest bit wrong, and Link's going way too fast, and you can't adjust, and you're like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna do regular dashes.
Doubly so if you know, like, and you know, dozens of people are watching me do this right now. Good spin speed there from Vortex. Bydey is foregoing this spin speed.
This screen's really weird. It's like you can save a frame by not pumping against the bottom wall. I don't know. I couldn't figure out why.
I gotta be honest, I've never thought about pumping on that screen ever.
These dashes are nice and easy. You get to turn the brain off a little bit. I say that. All of these dashes are still pretty precise. Like, you're not just mindlessly dashing here.
Ooh, that was actually a nice little block from Bydey. Not turning too early to miss that arrow. There's some lag to negotiate in different spots on some of those later overworld screens that can be a little bit tricky. And when you don't negotiate the lag quite right with your dash cancel, then you're dashing on the wrong line, you might have a bonk incoming. Bydey gets the double read. Was that a double read there? I saw some Hylian text there. May have just been mashing a little bit too long.
Alright. That spin to get the red is sure.
Well, if you know you do the red, it's actually probably a very nice strat. It's not going to lose much time.
Yeah,
anywhere else
like
you're going to get the red here, it's going to... Yeah, but if you think the red's coming soon, like, it's going to cost you more in any of these other screens to go pick it up. So being on only 6 rupees, I could see that. Usually, if I don't get the red rupee, like, I don't really ever notice not getting the red rupee in at the end of Eastern Palace. So even the times it doesn't show up there, I just kind of write it off. But good job, Vortex, paying more attention than I would. He gets rewarded with some extra rupees.
Bydey either started that dash a frame late or just barely misread the RNG.
Still not the worst result in that green.
Yeah, as long as you're not like restarting another dash, which loses a lot of time, then it's fine.
I'd be interested to see if Vortex picks up any extra arrows at the back of the dungeon here, since he has not gotten the drop in Eastern.
I know that I would not, but...
They are quite slow, but... being on a low arrow count and having a fun Landmo fight can really put you in a hurtful spot and force you to pick up some maybe even worse arrows along the way, so... Also don't know if it matters in a tournament race, if you would do something different or not.
I wouldn't do it because I haven't practiced getting them, so... Ooh, Bydey did not trust where he came off the stairs.
There are some awkward spots where if you're using that pause buffer to stop yourself after the spin speed activation, there are some awkward spots where you can recognize I can't cleanly diagonal without getting stuck somewhere. I wonder if that was just him recognizing that and saying I'd rather not jump off the ledge or get stuck in a corner.
Right, because he would have had to press right into upright, and he would have had very little time to do so. So that would also have been something that if I was just playing the game, I would just go for it. But I mean, in a race, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So Vortex not picking up the arrows. He did pick up 10 more rupees in the Popo room, so he's got a 36 healthy count.
Skip a red. Oh, that sucks. That's a good first cycle, though.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, lost track of it a little bit.
Oh, really almost was able to finish it off.
Bydey's having a good fight, though.
Should be able to finish it off on the cycle. I say that.
Nice.
All right. Pretty good fights from both players there. We get a menu from Bydey. Not the fastest menu in the world, but kind of a free menu to Boomerang there.
And yeah, Vortex only used 13 arrows. Yeah, that's a free menu.
I will never remember to do it, but it is technically a free menu.
The Boomerang is, like, surprisingly useful. If we had more chances to use it, we'd be like, wow, this item's really good, but... There's a couple enemies that could be in our way, and the sword does not deal with them effectively, so the Boomerang's very nice, but
yeah, most notably the pickles closer to the Death Mountain entrance can be dealt with very easily. Bydey, whoa, he is. All right, he's in. That was... I guess he was 1 pixel too high. I didn't actually get a great read on it. But
I think he did get boosted, yeah. So
good recognition on his part. That's one screen you don't want to turn into an even worse adventure. Oop. That's unfortunate there for Bydey also, getting both of them in the way. But he's in. We're rescuing the old man.
Doesn't matter what we have. Enemies are going to do their worst.
There's so much... So much RNG. Little RNGs here and there. Enemies, boss RNG. Just plain old bad luck RNG in the form of blue balls and warps and things like that. But so much over the course of a run, you're really going to get, you know, things that kind of even out between your blue balls and your boss fights and your random dead rocks and pickle RNG. Like, you're usually going to end up in the same range as far as strict time loss goes.
It's actually really funny, yeah, because if there was less RNG, I think I would hate it.
Yeah.
Because you would just notice it so much more. But when literally everything is RNG, you just
there's some way you're gonna get lucky to counteract, you know, where you might be getting unlucky up until that point in the run.
Unless we took it all the way down to literally no RNG. But then even then, ooh, bonk. Even then, I'm not sure it would really feel the same, right?
Yeah. Pretty good dead mountains for both players. They're going to be entering 6 hearts on Vortex sides and what looks like probably... Okay, shouldn't have said anything. That's
really?
My fault. Sorry, Bydey. I didn't even see... Katie wasn't even on the screen when I started talking, in my defense.
I can't believe Vortex was able to get through with that movement.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what it's supposed to look like when you have the boomerang, so it always looks like people are gonna get stopped by the pegs when they're using the boomerang.
You walked down left. I was like, you're going the wrong direction.
Well, we got a map, though, to check that we are indeed in Tile Room.
4 buttons on the same frame. Gaming. Very fun room. Lots of interesting stuff happening. I don't know if y'all can see it on the restream, but Vortex's screen is occasionally getting like a vertical scroll. That's because he is playing on a system that... Well, he's playing on a system that runs at the 60.09 frame rates, hertz that the game was intended to be played on, but he's playing on like a monitor, which is exactly 60 hertz, so it like refreshes the screen occasionally. Don't panic if you see that.
Coming up on the bomb jump here for Vortex. Looks like he's going to go with the early bomb jump. Really tough adjust there to go down 1 pixel. Not the easiest way to fix things, but very nicely done. Will happen occasionally if you're doing an early bomb jump. Oh no! Bydey, get the spin in the right spot, I guess.
I guess. It's hard to like...
I am completely unfamiliar with the spin setup, I'll admit. I know that you can kind of release your spin slightly too early and trick yourself into thinking that you went far enough. It's the only thing I can think that he did, but really unfortunate mistake there.
Well, and now our health is bad. Okay. And Moldorm's down.
Good fight from Vortex's side. Yeah, this is just mistakes in this dungeon. Recovering from them mentally is really challenging. He's going to have to also be very careful here with these Moldorms. He needs to pick up the heart so that he can successfully bomb jump. Looks like they're going to be friendly to allow him to do that, but now he's going to have to take a second attempt at this, knowing he's already messed it up once. All right, that looks better.
Yeah.
Now he needs these Kodongos to play nice so he can get upstairs and get his hearts that he released by hitting the switch.
Okay. You stop that dash.
I was wondering.
Oh boy.
I was wondering if he was going to play it safe. He looked like it was probably going to be fine, but he was a little bit to the right, so I guess he could have gotten frame rolled by the fire there on that side. Really excellent through these 3 dungeons so far. Really excellent tournament light world for Vortex. Bydey just playing the Get Me to the Dark World game, like so many others are. I mean, he's already taken 2 hearts here. This is
Okay.
okay. We're oh no!
You have
That's
got
tough.
to be kidding.
Oh, Vortex
takes
Bydey
it.
gets bullied a little bit too. Doesn't get a heart to bring him back to full, but he's gonna have to do some backup rupees. We got a lot going on these 2 screens now.
Oh. All right, we've pulled the Master Sword at least. This kind of Hera is always like, when you sit down to play, you're like, I hope I'm not resetting in Hera 69 times today.
Yeah, doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what your PB is. You have Heras like this. You have Light Worlds like this. It's gonna happen. It's a very volatile split. Light World itself is pretty volatile. And like I said, just mentally being able to recover from some mistakes, especially when you know the stakes are so high. Really, really, really tough. You gotta feel for Bydey. Everyone who plays this game has been in this situation before.
We see a select... Oh, no. We see select buffer on Vortex's side. I'm not sure why, but... Oh, man. Hera sucks.
Only got 2 hearts for this refight.
Vortex killing the guard. You love to see it.
Oh, my goodness. Bydey getting real up and close and personal on all of these fights.
Okay. We're done.
Get me out of here. Get me to the Dark World. Vortex will be pulling his backup rupees here. I assume he's done it correctly. Okay. I wasn't strictly watching him kill all the enemies.
Yep, Vortex actually did the correct backup there for it, too. You see a lot of people kind of just, like, wing it. But, knowing the right backup there versus the wrong one is, like, almost 10 seconds. Like...
Well, not only that, but a lot of times when you try the wrong backup, you just take a hit again. And then,
Exactly.
then you're on the Sahasrahla rupees backup, and that's a lot more than 10 seconds. Oh, Vortex missed with his arrow here.
Easy to fix that one, though, so... Good dashes, good swings.
Agate Tower is a lot of fun if you enter with beams, and if you don't enter with beams, it's the least fun split in the world.
If you make it out of this room with beams, it's fun. I don't know how often I make it out of this room with beams, but not enough. I saw that there was a strat to get the key dash in this upcoming room with beams. I did not learn it. Oh, that's... Okay, things slash worked out for him. Vortex knows it, apparently, because he got it. So this has been a pretty nice tower.
Yeah, second half of the tower has been very nice for Vortex. It was not the best start to the split, especially even outside of the tree rupee issue, but very nice top of the tower. Like you said, keeping beams all the way through makes a lot of these later rooms just much more consistent.
Even this bridge room is more consistent with beams, so...
Yep.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Gets the 4th rupee, which is necessary.
If he was short, Vortex could always lend him some, because he's got money for days over there.
I didn't even notice 153 rupees. Jesus.
Well, he started out able to skip a red. Then he had to pick up extra tree rupees because he had to pull the tree an extra time. And then he didn't skip the red when he pulled the tree in the courtyard. So we
It's
are
hard to
flush
skip
with
that
cash.
red. I don't even know how you would, honestly. But
Flush
so
with cash.
theoretically, if Vortex gets 15 and Bydey gets 0, this will be close.
Why even put that out there? Why even put that out there?
I have not seen 15 blue balls once.
Yeah.
You know,
Chances are not
I've
good.
seen a clip of it, but I've never seen. Oh, it's 1 in 32,000 or something. I don't know. It never happens. And looks like we're just getting 1.
I think 1. Yep.
That's exactly what I mean. That room is so mean.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
It's so easy when you do have a situation you need to slash the guards. You just try to slash them too fast. And you get hit. It's just, they're in an unfortunate spot. You know that there's guards coming from the darkness to also stab you. It's not a fun time.
Yeah, it's bad. This spin speed,
No doubt. Nothing
This
has
is-
ever happened with anybody trying a spin speed on this screen. I'm not
you
sure.
know what? Until you said anything, I had forgotten. Okay, so
Just a nice, easy screen.
as
Very
it turns out,
casual.
I have seen somebody die on that screen.
Haven't we all? So after the dark maze there, Bydey has done pretty good in this in the tower, despite not having the sword beams. He's going to be finishing off his light world. Let's hope Aga is merciful after what he's been through. Vortex putting his first dark overworld together as he heads toward Pod. He could mess up with Kiki a few times and still have enough money to retry, so that's good news. Gets bad RNG, gets through it. Gets even more bad RNG with bombs exploding. I always hate that lag, but very nice Kiki dash, despite all of the issues with the RNG.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh, no.
It's one of those days. Oh, you're just trying to save like 2 frames or whatever, and you lose 6 seconds.
Not a sound. Well, hopefully only 6 seconds. Not a sound you want to hear during this fight, really.
Oh,
don't get
yep, taking a hit.
yeah, you
Yep.
get it. Very difficult. Very difficult room to get cleanly, honestly. But
Trying to get the frame 1 quick hop and turns into the frame 40 quick hop. That's honestly one of the hard. Oh
boy! All right,
okay.
we're just gonna place another bomb and try again. That jelly can be so annoying because you don't really want to slash him. You kind of just want to go around. But even going around sometimes tricky. So I think that was technically 2 for Bydey, but it'll be 3 on the stat sheet.
I didn't see was the last one in the cycle a blue ball, because then it would have been 1.
I am not sure. I'm actually not even sure it was 3, to be completely honest.
It was 3.
Okay.
Well, the timing was for 3, but yeah. Vortex coming up on the bomb jump here. Probably getting both bombs. Yeah. That's interesting. Choosing not to slide over to the bombs in the menu until he's on the right pixel. But yeah, honestly, one of the hardest things about this game is you're trying to do things obviously on the first frame that you can because it's the fastest. But doing anything one frame early loses you like seconds. So
Yeah,
you
like
almost kind of want to do
like
things
shooting an arrow one frame too early there, or being on the wrong
exactly.
frame. Well, Vortex not going to pick up the heart to
Okay.
go to beams there.
It's definitely slower. This is fine.
Good Kiki dash from Bydey as well.
Finally getting an arrow drop.
Oh, yep. Okay,
Oh,
so
oh.
we just didn't see that we were full. He got. I think he got the
Okay.
heart. Maybe because the heart dropped on from the Helmasaur on the hammer yump. Maybe.
Yeah, but he took 1.5 extra,
Yeah,
so he was
maybe he
down
didn't realize
2.5.
that.
Yeah.
It is a very non-standard amount of health to be down at that point, so little unfortunate. Mostly unfortunate because Vortex's run is very good compared to his PB right now, so
Oh,
unable to hit the swag boom.
might have frame rolled himself with that pause.
Yep,
I think you can do that.
pretty sure that is possible.
That's another thing about this game. Seeing green, your brain like shuts off.
Especially Pod, man. Especially
Oh,
Pod.
gets the turtle.
I didn't even see that.
Dodges it. Huge.
It's, I guess, like such an adventure in that room. You gotta always be, I guess, on the back of your mind to know you might get a turtle there.
This spin speed is the most important one in the run. Oop, takes a hit. That's fine. There's a lot of
getting a lot of down RNGs here. It's very nice. Oh,
that's not good.
He's just gonna wait it out.
Good tail swipe. Vortex letting us know that he miscounted. Counting is impossible in this game. Bydey going for only one bomb on this bomb jump, which does give you almost a full extra second to get it set up.
Really nicely done. Yeah, I'm a fan of the one bomb strat as well because I also will try to use sword buffers unless I'm really, really out of position.
I can't do it. Sword buffers are the worst.
Diagonal sword buffers are the worst. Regular sword buffers are fine.
We need another AD tournament so we can all practice our sword buffers again.
Oh no! I also thought that you were too low, Bydey, so that was very strange. I guess that's just the lowest possible pixel you won't hit the wall on, so.
Yeah, that was a... I thought it was too low. I thought I was hitting the wall. This room... Mimics are very challenging, especially if anything goes even the tiniest bit wrong.
Well, that room especially is just one of those, like, you have... These are the inputs I press. And there's usually not a lot of recovery required, and when it goes a little bit wrong, you really don't have much experience recovering it, because the whole plan for that room is don't mess up your normal strat.
Exactly.
And then, like, even ad-libbing something, there's so much lag with all of the enemies alive on the screen, it's going to mess up your ad-libbing, so...
Vortex either does not know, or does not like to go for the instant hammer dash down.
Yeah, I find it's a lot safer than you would think.
Anything that does a room quickly is safe. Like, that's the secret. Get me out of every screen, because you can die on literally any screen in this game. Okay, maybe not the screen that Vortex is on, but like, if there's an enemy, it's killed you.
I don't know. Multiple digs feels like dying, so...
Lots of downblocks on Bydey's side, and some tail swipes.
Wow.
That's a lot of downs. Tail swipe here.
Pattern.
Oh.
Not gonna matter.
Perfect Helma.
All right. Well, obviously, Vortex has a healthy lead. There's still
It's
plenty of
still
things that
only,
can go
like-
wrong. We got a lot of boss fights from between now and the end of the run. Versus his PB, obviously that pod was unfortunate, took a big chunk out of his pace, but we still have some green numbers on his side, so there is even if the race is not that close, Vortex is still feeling the pressure of, hey, I need a PB, and also if I really mess up, there's still somebody who's trying to chase me down. So I actually I mean, you don't want to ever be like this far behind, obviously, if you're in Bydey's shoes. But I do kind of like not just this feeling like a pointless run, even when you're like so far behind your PB because there's been so many mistakes. There's still something to play for. There's still something to put together good splits for. Even if you are in the situation where you're very obviously relying on a big mistake from your opponent, you still do have a run to complete. So
Yeah.
I find it a lot more fun and engaging being in a race against somebody, even when I have a bad run going.
The other thing, too, is we do have 6 dungeons left, if I can count right. And you can die in all of these dungeons.
Yeah. Yes. If you've played this game as much as either of these two guys have, you can and have died in all the dungeons in the entire game.
And like the fastest death we can have at this point is a moth death, which is like a minute to 80 seconds.
Yeah, still like 75 seconds, yep. Of course, we don't want to see any deaths from either side going forward. But
2 digs.
Yeah. So, like...
Oh, Vortex
that was
beamed it into the spikes?
Very... definitely a thing that can happen. Now that I know that. Very weird.
Raise your hand if you've died in Thieves' Town Attic to the crickets.
Everybody's hand.
More than 50 times. When I die in Thieves' Town, it's always when I'm like, Thieves' Town is pretty easy. Nothing ever goes really bad. And then you get frame ruled by every enemy and you die.
Thieves' Town is probably simultaneously, for a lot of players, the dungeon that they have died in the most in the Dark World, as well as the dungeon that they finished on full health the most in the Dark World. It's a very bizarre combination. But it's probably true. It's probably true for most. Yeah, I like if you take a hit, that's like 2 hearts from everything in this dungeon, but you probably won't take a hit from anything.
I think it's the easiest dungeon in the game, and then every time I say that, immediately punished by the game. So now I just say it for other people.
God, Vortex is up to 63 rupees. I don't know where he got another 20. Probably turtles or something like that in pod.
Do you think we're gonna get enough rupees to be able to skip one of the 300s?
Imagine one day there's a route where you can try for that. Wouldn't even save that much time. But... Alright, let's see beams on the final phase here for blind.
Ooh, that was weird.
Yeah, you get blind to stop sometimes with that early beam, but it will not count as damage. That's why with beams you can kind of kill him all the way completely out of the light on the left side. Bydey also killed that Patrick Star in a different way than...
I think that was with the hammer.
No, he dashed through it and it died.
Dashed through it.
But it was like a dash, I guess, on the same frame it touched the spike or something like that. However the heck that works. So we got 2 Patrick Stars down in this run. Nice to see Vortex stabilize with a pretty solid Thieves Down after adventures in Pod. Interesting timing strat there for Bydey in the attic. Don't see that too often.
Bydey doing the classic of, I'm starting a dash, so I'm not going to pay any attention to this screen, and then your dash doesn't start. Oh, for the RNG wrong, but that was pretty bad pattern.
Ooh, my bomb. That's alright, he's got 7. Going for Top Rock here on Vortex's side. Very nicely done.
Top Rock is such a meme, but okay. Bydey's movement made me think he got hit in that screen. It's like, just slash. Yeah, I kind of start to pay attention to bomb and arrow count around now. Arrows seem... they're fine. Bombs are good on both sides.
Bydey's arrows are a little bit low, but Vortex is definitely fine with his arrows. I don't know what their shopping routes are. I doubt very much that they're my shopping routes, so their bomb counts are both probably fine. I, in my run, would be concerned if I only had 5 bombs, which probably means that Vortex is totally fine in his route. Very nice blind fight for Bydey. Vortex is finishing up the overworld here.
I can't believe you put everything in Swamp. It's like a 14-minute split.
I didn't put everything in Swamp. It's just everything has been in Swamp, and I've left it there. That's all.
Easiest room in the game on Vortex side right here.
Oh, especially when you get double the drops here. Increase the lag.
That might have been fine, actually, but...
I think it was a good read for him to go back and push it right, because I do not think he was going to be able to pull it up without getting accosted by that mummy there. And I would wager that he ended up pushing the statue too far because of the extra lag from both of those items dropping, which is really very frustrating on that screen sometimes when it's the item drop RNG that is the bad RNG.
That's a screen that you want to do the same way every time, but yeah, the lag is variable, the enemy movement is random. It's just kind of do whatever and hope it works.
Getting chased by those mold worms into the chest open feels great. Vortex on 6, hearts headed to the back. That's totally fine. You really just want 5 on your way to the back of Skull. Give yourself a little bit of leeway in case something goes wrong in the mummy fight, in the mummy rooms, or at the start of the moth fight.
6 is good because you don't have to pay any attention on the first screen. You can just be like, I'm hoping. Sometimes I do that. When I don't want to pay attention, I don't care. I would have gotten hit.
It's hard to just pay attention for an entire run. Like, sometimes you just, for some screens, you gotta turn off your brain and hope you get lucky.
Oh, that's bad.
All right, we recovered. We're gonna have to. Oh, nice. We got a double hit there.
Okay, we're fine.
Totally fine. Didn't take any extra damage. Didn't get wall mastered. This is another fun screen because depending on how fast you do it, you get a nice visual. If you can get the hand to come down in this screen, you know you did the room really nice and fast. Big fan of those screens.
That was a good double. One more slash. Nice.
Very, very nice. Perfect handling of those patterns. This fight literally just completely comes down to being able to get all of your opening double pokes. If you can get all of the floor patterns and double pokes down, this fight becomes one of the easiest fights in the game, honestly. If you cannot get opening doubles, there are just some patterns that are going to really, really, really put you in a bad spot.
Down conveyor moth moving up is actually the worst.
Yeah.
Is Bydey going to get up before the hand lands? Oh, gaming.
Like I said, big fan of the screens where you can tell how well you did it without being on the practice hack to see your frame count. Like a dream come true. You can see a spin setup now. We saw Bydey fail spin setup. This is a good spin setup again. Really, it's just those opening tricks. Like, you can do the spin bomb jump setups like 99 times out of 100, and the one time you're going to fail it out of those 100 is probably your first one. So it's one of the reasons that Light World is so annoying in this game, because all of the tricks that matter, it's the first time you're doing it on the run.
Ice is like, I don't know. It's so consistent, and at the same time, it's one of those splits where every time I start it, I get super nervous. Taking that hit is pretty bad.
It's a surprisingly tough screen to read all of the RNGs fast enough. We're going to take the safer dash strat here, which makes a lot of sense. A couple chances to farm for a heart on these upcoming screens. It's just the overworld that's really hard. Like, this is a really hard Bydey taking a hit in the way, but still has 5 hearts. Just a really, really hard overworld to do quickly.
That bush is a little bit slower, but it does have a chance to drop a heart, so...
And he also still got the quick fish with the bush, which is really not easy. Good work on his visuals there.
That was a single to start. That hit probably counted? Yeah, it did. Okay.
Yeah, very good, very friendly moth after missing the double, so good recovery for Bydey.
Lower overworld screen is pretty fun. I like it a lot. I've been hit all the way talking at Zora before if you get really unlucky. So you have to pay attention the whole time.
It is pretty surprising how different the screen can be based on Zora spawns and how well you've dashed in certain areas and where you've cut your dash. And you can just do it the same exact way, get the same kind of patterns. Zora's kind of all spawn in the same ranges for 25 straight times, and then one time you just suddenly Zora shooting a fireball in your face and you're not really paying attention. I don't even really know like how many factors go into like when you're flirting with Zora shooting a fireball in your face and when you're not.
Uh-oh.
We're okay here.
Okay, we're fine.
Totally fine. A tough screen to do accurately.
Swimming into portals is the worst.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like I can't do it.
That portal in particular, but also just trying to navigate, not nudging on the edges of those cliffs, not running into the Zora if he spawns a little closer to you, watching out for the crab, sometimes coming from the right side of the screen.
Yeah, if it was just a swim, it'd be whatever, but you're paying attention to about 25 different things, so...
See, every time you try and swim in this game, it feels like it works slightly different from the last time you did it.
Oh.
Alright, as long as we don't get hit here, everything should be okay. Alright.
Yeah, that room has lag in it, so you still want to release your spin as early as possible, but it gets... 3 bomb 4.
We're just gonna bail out of that. Bydey actually stood in front of Catfish for a good 2-3 seconds with Catfish not activated because he thought he'd gotten the quick fish but hadn't. Finally realized and threw another thing in the pond there.
Ice conveyor room.
Oh man,
Really tricky.
Had really some good RNG, but just was not able to get the beam on the right jelly, and simple little mistake like that ruins it all, but looks like he's got his bomb jump nice and easy first try. Doesn't need any extra buffers.
I hate these pen gators. All right, well, we got them all. One spin.
Is there a room that's like a bigger relief in the game when it doesn't go badly than like pen gators at the end of Ice Palace? Especially if it's been like a good Ice Palace and you're just expecting to see one alive pen gator running around after you spin.
And you're like, it's always the bottom one, except for when it's the top one, right?
It's just a real hold your breath. Like, oh, I've had a good ice. All right, well, that means that this room that usually is no problem at all is probably going to be 2 pen gators running around for some reason.
All right, cold stare fight. Hopefully nice and easy. You're going to get 8 rod shots. And I'm not sure
where
which
you want to do it as fast as you can, because otherwise, if you're off your timing, it gets a little hard.
Okay, looks like we're getting a single poke. That looks good. Oh, missed one of them. Okay.
Okay.
No!
Oh, no!
That's bad.
That's
like a 4-minute time loss.
Worst death you really can take in the game. Similar to what we said about Bydey and Hera, everyone who plays this game has been here as well.
Did not get full magic drop, so we're probably going to just do Swamp here.
Yeah, at this point, I think most people will bail for Swamp Palace or go do some shopping, like Vortex is going to do. Just a crushing death. There.
The other thing, too, is when this happens and you're playing, you don't even think about it. You just slam the reset button, right? Like,
yeah, this is not something that, except in a tourney race, really, or I don't know, like, maybe once per career you'll finish a run after dying to cold stare. It just, so much of the rest of the run is thrown off. You can't even do like your next couple splits the way you normally would. You have to go back through the entire dungeon. It's like almost 4 minutes of time loss.
And the other thing is that like Swamp is not dangerous unless you only have 7 hearts. And then all the weird random stuff just kills you.
Yeah, there's also like a greater than 75% chance you're going to forget you don't have any magic, and you're going to get the text box on Argus when you try to shoot the fire rod at him.
Which is only like 2 seconds, but it makes you feel like an idiot.
The mental damage is incalculable. All right, so, well, we talked about how many dangerous boss fights we still had to go in this game, and we saw one of them. Guess what? There's still a bunch more, and Bydey also still has to do this boss fight, so,
yeah.
let's see how he can do.
8 rod shots. There we go.
A little late on one of them. He's going to play it a little safe around the outside to avoid that. That's
he's going to get hit.
Very close.
He's fine.
Okay. Almost exactly the same thing that happened to Vortex, except both of his spins landed. Whereas Vortex did not get both spins to land on all of the puffs.
Vortex must have been just like a little far away, maybe?
Yeah, it's sometimes
slow. I don't know. It's so weird because the puffs
get a weird, like, I don't know if it's not a bounce from the puff, but it's like a weird aggro, or there are definitely times it's confusing why your spins haven't landed. Because he had one puff that he was trying to slash down, and that's the puff that ended up walking into him. It is actually a very tough fight. To be exactly precise every time the same way. Like your rod shots, your vertical alignment with, or horizontal alignment with the shell, you know, how far you're walking in between each shot, the time you delay between slashing and moving down to spin. Like there's a lot that's going to very slightly alter the finishing move on that fight. So
no, yeah, Vortex is definitely still in this. It's just like sucks.
Yeah. It's not a fun spot. And again, like recovering from that mentally too is not very easy.
The other part is, when did you decide to go back to ice? Right after swamp?
I guess it's
I guess?
technically not any faster to do it. Yeah,
No,
it's either going to be now or after Meyer, so it's just pick...
I guess I'd rather do it now, because you really like to be in the same health spot that you're used to in Meyer.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're used to doing it without sync heart, then... It's true, it might actually be faster to water walk. I have no idea, though.
No, literally nobody knows the backups. The optimal backup. Here is what you should do optimally after dying to Cold Stare. You already said what it is now. It's slam the reset button. That's it. That's the optimal strat. And we can't do that in this instance, so we're going to have to live with being suboptimal.
The good news on Vortex's side is that he has not been getting bullied. It's not uncommon to like get to this part of swamp and you've been hit 5 times.
Yes.
Like...
Has more hearts than he came into the dungeon with. In his case, it's a very good thing.
I don't know if we've all been there, but I've definitely seen die to Cold Stare, die to Argus.
Let's not see that today. It is funny. Well, funny is probably not the right word, but it is interesting that like the classic Link to the Past disasters, where you just have like bomb jump, fall, Moldorm death, and death to Cold Stare, and we've got both of those right here.
It's also interesting that they always happen together. Like...
Yeah. When I was not first starting out, but one of the things that I thought was kind of cool when I was starting to grind my time down further and further, like approaching sub 90 or just gotten past sub 90, you'd watch the top runners and see all the terrible things that would happen to them. And it would kind of give you confidence to like shake those off in your own runs. So like if you're sitting there watching this race and you're like, my PB is, 129 or 131 or 133. Yeah, this stuff happens to you and everyone else who plays the game. So, keep at it, because it's just a nice fraternity of disasters that we all live through together. Man, Vortex almost pulled that out. We're going to be a little careful, Vortex, right?
Okay.
He's not. Okay. Totally fine. Remembers that he does not have enough magic.
Does not know how to
menu. Does not know where he's menuing. That's fine. Not.
We did
problem.
it.
We are alive. We get to go back and face Cold Stare again. Woo. I have absolutely no clue where either of these guys are in relationship to each other at this point.
We're not going to know for a while, but I think it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's probably pretty close. Just trying to math it a little bit based on their previous splits. This is sort of uncharted territory, so...
But yes, not only has every runner died to everything in the game, they've probably done it 2 or more, maybe as many as 100 times. Like...
Yeah. Yeah, this game is kind of, in a way, just endurance training for dealing with disasters. Having the courage to power on the console the next day after finishing a run the previous day. Ooh, Bydey top dash there in Sociable Firebar. What a madman.
It's faster when it works, which is to say never. But
almost never faster, correct.
All right, looks like we're getting Ice Rod here. I have no idea if this is typical or not, but
We will see if we get the Water Walk post Ice Rod here.
Water Walk, very rarely seen glitch. I think we use it in Mirror Shield. And
oh yeah, we're getting it.
That's it, right? We did, or I don't.
Yeah, this'll work.
I have no idea how it works.
That first jump is diagonal, so since we have the flippers, it puts us in the water, and then we jump off the waterfall, and we're water walking because we set it up in the cave.
It's in meme low. Sure, that makes sense. Bydey gets hit there. That sucks. That makes sense. I don't remember the
2 fire rod shots there. He must have, because he's down 2 fire rod shots.
Does meme low do ice like last? Probably, or at least, well, it has to do it after Meyer.
Imagine knowing how any low percent works. Couldn't be me. All right, so Bydey seems like he's slightly ahead. I think. Maybe not.
I think he is. Yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah, because he got Ice Rod already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's, yes, okay. So he's ahead by an okay amount.
Argus proving this boss fight is impossible to do fast.
No menu in here is going to feel good for Vortex. He has a million extra things in his inventory.
First try bomb jump for the second time today. You love to see it.
Oh, this crystal catch. This crystal catch, Bydey.
Yeah, this is...
We're gonna get some images in chat, I think, on this crystal catch.
Does anybody know how to catch this crystal? Because I don't.
I do. Kill him at the top of the screen.
How do you do that with the fire rod?
We don't. You never go to fire rod. Problem solved. Yeah, we are in the text on Bydey's side. That is not a place that we want to find ourselves.
All right, first try cold stare for Vortex today.
Not a fight anybody has any experience with refights either. So, like, mentally, I don't know how you prepare yourself for this, but...
We're going to get to spin, and one poke. Oh, please.
No.
Please. We need to learn poke dashes. That's the backup for this fight. Okay.
Should be fine here on this one more.
All right.
Everything is fine.
Yeah, it appears Bydey has a little over a minute lead now, so... A minute is not much.
No, we still got Bydey.
You don't even have to die to lose a minute in the last 2 splits. Like...
No one's ever lost, 60 seconds just to... avoiding chain chomps and dead rocks in Turtle Rock.
Okay.
Oh, okay, we're fine. Nothing in this dungeon does 4 hearts of damage or anything. Hopefully he realizes, okay, that he's still on the
Ether
medallion.
And since everybody's splits are messed up, I can't look at them to tell. I guess we'll just look at their torches time and call it a day, huh?
It's the best measure we're going to get. Now, on the plus side for Vortex, the man's got 30 arrows, which is living large.
Bydey has only 12. Did we not get some arrows in Swamp?
He
must have
had
skipped some arrows in
7.
Swamp.
He definitely had 7 on the way in, so yeah. We had 7 arrows leaving Thieves, so we picked up 1 pot. I am team load up on arrows everywhere I can. I want to come into this fight. I want to come into Bydey with 30 arrows in every one of my runs. I don't care what it takes.
Minimum 21, but give me 23 so I can arrow the last 2 eyes, right? Like,
yeah. Depending on your arrow count. Now, Bydey may not have any choice.
I think he has to get the chest.
Yeah, you will alter your Bydey strats if you can for slashes instead of arrows. And failing that, if your count is super low, you need to know how to get the backup arrows in GT without, resorting to things that I resort to in that room because I don't know how to get that chest.
Honestly, the worst part about finishing runs where you die in weird spots is, and your splits get all messed up, is you have to go back in and fix your splits. After Vortex gets the huge... How big does that say that gold is? I can't read it. Huge overworld gold. Double-digit seconds. Like, you're going and you're just erasing everything.
Yep. So, did we actually look at Bydey?
It was 108.28.
Excellent.
So
one of us is doing their job. Great.
about 70 seconds between them.
Now, historically, at the risk of jinxing anything, although, I feel like we've already done plenty of that. Historically, in competitive NMG settings, Vitreous has been the typical bully boss that runners have had to deal with. I know he's already claimed a few in this event. It is a fight that even more easily than Cold Stare can just go from totally fine to completely red screen.
The movement is very precise, and when I see new runners doing it, they're like, I don't get why I'm not doing it. It's like, yeah, because you're losing 2 frames on every one of your movements.
Yep.
That's what's killing you. It's not the, whatever. It's pretty tight, what you're supposed to do, so. And, on top of that, you have to time your spins, which are pretty easy to mistime.
No one's ever dropped a spin and stood there like an idiot, wondering how to save it. We'll see if Bydey gets a good first spin. Second movement was fine. Ooh, that was a little spicy.
That wasn't a poke. Or he might have already spun that one already, so it wasn't a big deal. But okay.
Just going down to 2 arrows, so hope we're getting back up. Hope we know how to get the backup chest in GT.
The backup chest is we get the 10 arrow drop from pokies.
Also a valid strat. Probably faster for me than figuring out how to get that chest.
If I see that drop, I'm getting it. It doesn't matter.
So you're gonna get top left, bottom right, pokies 2. You're spinning that bottom right, and you're walking all the way up to the top left.
Oh, yeah. If I see those arrows
drop, the game
would
never do that. By the way, it's definitely not gonna do that.
Even with the chest, though, he's gonna be short arrows. Need TR arrows plus those arrows.
Luckily, the TR rock arrow is pretty easy to figure out how to get.
Yeah.
Good spins on Vortex's side. Conserves his massive arrow count by not shooting any extras. Goes with the slashes. Gets Bydey down.
I've forgotten what it's like to have 13 hearts in TR, but... Oh. This overworld's, not hard. And yet Bydey's already lost 5 seconds.
A lot of the dashes, it's very fun to be very aggressive against the dead rocks, and then just you're still so mad at getting bad RNG even when you're being super aggressive with it.
Oh yeah, it's just there's nothing you can do. They just always get in your way.
Just want to go fast, guys. Oh, and that guy's the worst too. We lose a heart here at the end. As long as we don't get completely bullied, that's really the most important thing. We want to be able to be on full hearts when we get our fairy drop.
Good
Vortex
quake
is just
though.
one
Nice
climb.
and high.
Yes. Oh, it's always fun, like when you think you might be a little too high, and that quake is going off, and you're just hoping the screen is going to start shaking.
Nobody's ever died into a rock before.
That's never happened in the history of the game. Might be the first we might ever see of it. I'm pretty sure both runners are still do the fairies. I don't think we've had any weird prize pack shenanigans. So I know Vortex got the heart drop. He's definitely do the fairy next. I
didn't pay attention to Bydey's.
don't think Bydey saw the heart yet, but that doesn't mean he can't get the fairy in the first room. And now he's going to want it because we got hit there with the early hook. We're just going to mirror out. Probably smart.
It's faster to not mirror, but at the same time, you run the risk of taking more damage.
both these guys are watching the race. I mean, at this point, like, why mess with it? Why flirt with a one-hit KO chomps situation?
Yeah, that's not worth it in a million years. Like, hopefully we get the fairy right. Okay, or nothing. This pattern's fine.
Yep. First
Nicely
movement on
done.
that right jump looked a little scary, but second movement took him away, so. Vortex, meanwhile, got all the way up here with sword beams. That's always a treat. Don't have to worry about any of those jellies in the first room.
Yeah, you can actually slash them. Please get these arrows, Bydey.
Picking up these
Okay,
arrows.
good. This pokey. You know what? I'd love to see top right and bottom right because you can't mess them up.
Especially when you're like looking for the fairy there too, because they're just very easy to pick up all the drops and go on your way. Vortex does get his fairy here, so he should be. Yep, he can do a nice fast strat here. Gets good pattern from the chomps.
Yeah, it gets a normal pattern. The danger with that strat is if you get a slow pattern from the chomps, they hit you after your iframes run out, which is completely ridiculous. Like,
Yes.
So in Bydey's case, he needs the arrows because the chest would not give him enough. So Bydey had to get those arrows. This room free with beams. Love to see it.
Yeah, shaping up to be two very healthy turtle rocks here.
Are we gonna see a fast Vortex with the fast strat out of that room? Saves like 10 frames. Are we gonna see a fast Baser skip?
It's free to attempt, as long as you can read when you're gonna get hit. Big fan of.
Oh, that sucks.
Why do you just come with the block there? I don't like the single spin on that pattern because I always do exactly what Vortex just did. It's actually surprisingly hard to get the timing right, in my opinion. Because if you're just a little bit off, then exactly what happened to Vortex happens. And
I don't think Vortex is fast enough here. Oh, he was.
really good chest open, I think, saved it. Because the block was very far to the right.
And Trinex. 5 hits on each of the heads, except maybe 4 on the ice head. We'll find out. It's 5 to date.
I admit, I don't actually even know how, like, that works. Because sometimes you hit him 4 times, sometimes you hit him 5.
Bydey is... Oh, he's in a good spot. All right. Vortex attempted it, got the fast... Attempted fast laser skip. Got the really fast Beetle RNG and bailed. Yeah, it has something to do with the way that the fire rod does damage. The secondary hits it sometimes, but I don't know why only sometimes.
I feel like if that's the case, then we should have a way to set it up to do that every time. How do we not have that way?
It's not faster. Oh,
isn't
Vortex going for the poke dash.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
This is a little bit scary because we're getting juked. Oh, we're out of magic.
I don't think we don't have enough magic. To
we can actually poke dash the ice head, and it'll be fine. Or we can go for. You do need to kill the head. We can go for magic refill strats.
We're gonna refill our magic with Samari here.
Is the firehead not dead? It doesn't appear to be.
The thing you want to be seeing in your NMG runs.
All right. Well,
we're gonna be fighting Trinix again. I have a feeling.
It's a good thing we have 30 arrows and got the 8 bomb drop. Oh, we're mapping.
Don't kill yourself with your bomb. Okay. Okay.
That is still not enough. Maybe it's enough. I'm not sure.
If we weren't in uncharted territory before, we're in it now.
Please don't die.
It's not dead. Oh, it's not dead.
Oh my god. Alright, so that's the first total rock death anybody has ever had in the history of this video game.
I appreciate the attempt from Vortex to pull that back. Yeah, not his day at the video game factory. Bydey is like halfway through GT, meanwhile. Oh man. Well, we've seen a lot tonight now. This is
not even the most eventful match that I've comped. So we need to get this chest. Looks like we are getting the chest with the slow but safe strat.
Always nice to see somebody who knows a strat in that room, unlike me, because I don't know any strats in that room.
Vortex can get his arrows back. Oh.
Thought about it. We're at 173 rupees, which might be the most I've ever seen somebody have at this stage in an NMG run.
Alright, and now we get GT, which is... We get to the fun part of GT. Mimics rooms. I think I've practiced Mimics rooms more than the entire rest of the game combined. And I still can't do it, so...
We talked earlier about how some things are fine when you're rusty, and some things are not fine. And for me, Mimics, specifically, when I'm rusty, I can't even get out of the room.
Yeah. What about this room? Oh, we're not going to see the new strat.
No, this room is fine. There's no problem. I can't do the new strat, but that's because...
How can you not do the new strat?
Imagine changing your strat in this room.
Your strat's basically the same.
Why would I change it? I'm basically doing that already.
Alright, first try next here. Okay, things are happening. This is pretty uncharted territory. Oh.
Alright, we just dodge the head, that's fine. Dodge the head again. And one more fire rod. Nope, we're fine. Just 4
Okay, we
hits
got
today.
it. Okay. Bydey having an okay GT. He's lost a lot of health, though. Actually, I'm looking at a split timer. It's not that okay, but he's alive, and it's fine.
More importantly, Vortex is alive, so we'll be getting the GT on his side. Yeah, I guess something happened in Bydey's Gauntlet in between the very good Gauntlet 1 and the very good G4 and G5. I feel like this is a low crystal catch as well from Vortex. I don't think he'll be in the text, but...
The best part about Upstairs GT is it's the same every time.
Well, until you get poked off one or both of these bridges randomly.
Or the spike eats your block. Alright, we did not get poked off the bridge. Nice lamp dash. That's pretty tough to get.
That fire rod dash out of the room just scares me every time I see somebody do it. Every time.
Yeah, I can't stand it either.
I just point the fire rod the way you want it to go and shoot it. If you miss, you're going back to the bottom of the tower. People are braver than me. I think that's just what it comes down to.
All right, and it's nice. It's nice to get revenge on Waldorm. I'm not gonna lie, it feels so good.
But sometimes he still knocks you off, so must feel good for him too.
And come up on the Aga 2 fight, I just wish the Aga 1 fight was the Aga 2 fight instead.
This is basically the hardest boss fight in the game. It just is so hard.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Especially when you commit to spins like this. Aga 2 should have 5 clones. That's... You could one cycle him, it'd be pretty cool.
Alright, Bydey's on to Ganon.
Another boss that has claimed no victims. Ganon.
0. There's never been anyone stuck in an infinite Ganon loop. Ever.
Especially not when you first learn this fight. Okay, we're gonna get 12 slashes/spins on Bydey's side. We're up to 7 already. Oh, that was...
Whoa.
Okay, we got it. And we're gonna need 12 slashes here. To exit phase 2, his bats are normal. I know in the last match Bydey did, his bats were not normal and weird things happened, so yes. Dodge them correctly. And now we get 420 million warps. And hopefully get to enter the Triforce room. Oh, tried to clip the mimics, didn't work. Bydey going for the early double. Lamp torch glitch. You know what?
Might as well. You're watching the race.
Might
You've
as
seen
well.
all the things that have happened in this race. Why tempt fate?
Okay, I think we only need 3 more spins here. If I know how to count. I don't. We only needed 2. And we're done. All right, huge.
Just spin Ganon until he stops warping, and that's how you know the fight's done. You only have to know how to count to 3 against Ganon. 1, 2, 3, over and over again. That's what I do. But hey, I'm not the kind of guy that counts their pumps either, so maybe I don't know.
Vortex got a pump there.
Bydey.
Yeah.
First place with a 128.43. A very fun and interesting race we had, showcasing a lot of the things that can go wrong even for the highest level runners of the game. And
it just goes to show that, like, losing 3 minutes in Light World doesn't matter.
Nope.
Dark World is where the game is played, honestly.
However bad you think Light World can be, Dark World can always be worse.
Hey, guys.
Hey. GG's. How's it going, Bydey?
I'm doing good. Not too bad, not too bad.
GG's on the win.
Yeah, I see I won.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes to show you just never give up. Like you guys were saying, like it's 2 or 3 minutes sounds like a lot, but this is a rough game. This game will screw you so hard, so you just gotta get back on the train and keep going. And as you saw, I mean, didn't make too many mistakes really after that. I mean, some sloppy stuff, but I knew I had a look actually. I was checking every split, and yeah, I knew when I'd finished dice that he'd died, so I knew I was probably ahead by about a minute or so. So I just had to basically close it out, played it safe, and got it over the line.
Yeah, we were... Honestly, the thing I was most nervous about for you was your arrow count. You skip some arrows and smoke? You just
I mean, I usually play it that low. You can leave with 2, 1 even, and pick up the 5 and do Mike's chest. You'll still always have 18. That's how I've always sort of done it. If I picked up the chest, I guess, and Swamp, I wouldn't have needed Mike's chest, so... It's kind of 6.5 a dozen, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like... I like to leave Swamp at 20. So, 2 looks a little low.
I like to leave Swamp at 30, so...
Yeah, I've always been kind of, I don't know, really tight with that. I don't know why. I just go and recuperate later. I wasn't really worried about it. I had about 1 million bombs, because I don't know how that happened, but I think I had like 7 bombs at one point, or something like that. Yeah, I mean, Hera was an absolute disaster. Yeah, you know what happens. It's how it goes sometimes. I just couldn't get the fight done. I messed up bomb jump, which is something I don't ever mess up. Like, I think that's the first time I messed that up in as long as I can remember, so it's not something that I'm used to messing up. So just scanned too early, I think, and I thought it was on the pixel. I even looked at the pixel and I was like, I'm on the pixel, and I dropped, and I couldn't actually believe it.
Okay, you must have been just like 1 too short, because it's really hard to tell.
It didn't make any sense to me. I'd like to look it back, because I know the pixel and I know the sword buffer if I'm off it, and I saw it and I said I'm good. And then I went down and I actually couldn't believe it. I was actually stunned. But then you don't have time to mess around, so I just got back up and then...
I mean, I suppose it's possible you had like a literal last frame down input or something, right?
Yeah, I'll mean to make a clip and look it back, because I was so sure. I know I spun early, but I was pretty sure I was on the pixel, so... And then, I don't know what happened, I fell, and then... Did I fall twice or die? I fell and then I died. Like, I can't believe it was actually only 3 minutes, really, when I came out of there. I was like... I for sure thought it was 5 minutes, so...
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it a few times, like, with the things that we saw in this race. It's kind of the classic, like, this happens to everyone. Everyone has been in that lost 3 minutes in Hera, fell bomb jump, died to Moldorm. We've all done that multiple times. We've all been in the I died to Cold Stare, camp and I lost 4 minutes. Like, these things happen to runners at the low levels of the game and runners at the very high levels of the game. I know for sure when I'm having a run where there are disasters, I like the fact that it's still a tournament run. There's still something to play for. So like you said, you were able to just kind of keep going. It doesn't feel like a wasted time or wasted run. You don't want to slam the reset button. So the rest of your Dark World, once you got out of the Light World, everything was really nice. And, just staying there. So in case there's a disaster on Vortex's side, you get to take the race. And that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I only lost 50 seconds from pod through to Triforce, so I was really happy to get a 128 considering how crap Hera was. So it's actually not bad. I had a lot of rusty things, like just little minor things, slash my sword after menus and menuing the wrong way, and there's a lot of things like that that were kind of infuriating me a little bit. But that's just because I'm a little bit out of touch. I need to play a little bit more and practice a little bit more, and hopefully for the last race I'll be get rid of those little mistakes. So GG's to Vortex. No, it's rough. You never want to win like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, you always want to win, but you don't want to win like that, right? You want to win because you both played your best. So, but as we said, that's how it goes.
Well, I know you said you're just kind of peeking in, but I do think it'd be good for you to go back and rewatch Vortex's Turtle Rock. I think you'll enjoy it a lot.
Okay, I definitely will. I will definitely go back and watch it now or afterwards.
Classic. It was almost the second run I have saved with a Samaria refill on Trinex, but I didn't quite pull it off the second time I tried.
It was definitely gripping.
Well,
we were on the edge of our.
Great
We missed half of Bydey's GT. We have no idea what happened because.
You didn't miss much. It was a shambles. So.
Could not look away. It was a lot of fun.
It sucks that I am going to have to manually redo a bunch of these splits. Actually, I'll just undo everything. Because Meyer was a real gold. The ones for Swamp were all busted. This was my best time out of Desert and Hera.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've never been ahead. My PB was my best Desert before. I've never been ahead of that before.
Yeah, I kept peeking over and I just kept seeing green. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, it was. And I probably should have just turned off the restream when I got to Dark World, and as long as I didn't mess up, it was free, right?
So were you watching?
Yeah, I was. I was watching and listening the whole time, which in Light World didn't seem to faze me at all. But I don't think it was nerves. I don't want to say it was nerves because I didn't really feel nervous at any point. I just blew it.
It's a hard game. We've all done it, dude. We've all done it. I just knew that I had to keep going, and I knew that it just goes to show how much time Cole. I think Cole used to add to Cold Stare. Is that right? Was that what happened? Because it just goes to show how much a Cold Stare actually.
Eventually.
Oh, I missed that bit, but I know that I was 3 minutes behind, and I mean I had all sorts of stuff happen in Hera, and it still probably lost less time than your Cold Stare death.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because I was about a minute behind. Because I think our swamps, I didn't hear, but I think our swamps were pretty comparable.
They both seem fine.
Nothing spectacular, but nothing god awful either.
Yeah, the only thing weird about Swamp is we couldn't figure out where you guys were in relation to each other with the swing that the Cold Stare Death had thrown in there. So we were trying to math it out for part of the Swamp, but yeah, I think for that section of the Dark World, you guys were probably about.
It was about 70 seconds, right?
Yeah, I think we timed it out at the Meyer torches, and I think that was about the deficit 70 or 80 seconds at the torches. So.
Yeah, I sort of roughly timed it out on the
happy with
cutscene.
my Meyer. My Meyer was a second and a half dungeon gold.
That's hot.
That's pretty good, dude.
338. I got Fastmire 2, the Fireball Skip, the Quick Hop, all the goodies, except it got a bad spark gamble. But
Yeah, I was definitely playing it safe the last probably basically TR through to Ganon. I knew I was ahead, so I didn't. I mirrored out of TR and just got fairies and picked up hearts in GT. Just basically closing out the race. You know, like I knew that's all I had to do. So yeah, the quick cop and Meyer, yeah. But yeah, GG's, dude. I appreciate the race.
yeah, GG.
I hate to win like that, but
I mean,
that's how it goes. Like,
all I needed to do is not blow it on cold stare. So I mean, you have to execute the whole time, and I didn't. But yeah, it was fun while it lasted. It's nice to get on a good pace every once in a while, even though the good pace only lasted through Light World. But
yeah,
we mentioned it before. You know, when we were in Escape, talking about your guys' PBs and things like that, and there aren't that many guys on the leaderboard who have PBs with 5+ blue balls in it, so Vortex is due any day now. And so then you were 30 seconds ahead out of Aga, and we're like, yeah, look at us predicting the future. Unfortunately, we also talked about how hard the game was and how easy it was to lose tons of time. So then that also happened. I guess kind of our bad.
I did laugh when you said like no one has strats for when they died of cold stare, like. And I'm pretty sure I have finished more runs after cold stare deaths than probably anyone else. I like Airy would if he ever died to cold stare kind of thing, but I don't reset a whole lot most of the time.
I wouldn't have a clue what to do. I truly wouldn't.
Normally I just farm until I get magic, if it's like just because I have sub splits and then it doesn't mess anything else up. But yeah, the ice rod water walk has been the plan in a real race setting forever, and Yoho spoiled it. Even though he said do it after Meyer, which might have messed up my menus less. But I also got the bombs in the dam because I was like, oh wait, I need a whole ice worth of bombs still. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I just did those.
I think that seems correct too. I'm pretty sure I've finished like 2 runs that had cold stare deaths in it.
I've definitely finished 2 in the past month. So.
I don't think I've finished 1 ever.
Well, then you gotta stop dying the cold stare, man. That's the answer here.
Yeah.
I don't die to cold stare very much, but if I die, I no way I'm continuing that nonsense. But that's just my attitude.
I don't think I've finished any NMG or any percent runs dying to cold stare, but I know I've finished low percent runs where I've died. Because otherwise you just don't get to play.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, GG's to both you guys. Obviously not your best times, but nobody's putting up A+ times in tournament races. You just try to have fun. Hopefully you guys had some fun. It was a fun race. Showcasing the disasters is also an important part, I think, of the community. I always liked when I was, getting better and better times on the leaderboards. One of the things that motivated me was watching really good runners like you guys make mistakes all over the place. It made me feel better about the top runners make mistakes too. So I think it's good for people to see that, because you guys know, grinding this game, how many terrible runs and terrible mistakes and really stupid things that we do on this boss fight. Why did I do that? Why did I press that button at that point? Why did I just hit the menu button for no reason there? That stuff just shows how, first off, how hard the game is and how human we all are when we play it. So it was fun doing some comms.
Wholeheartedly with that sentiment. Watching good players mess up brings all of us closer together. But yeah, thanks guys so much for the comms, and thanks for the restream, Ricky.
No worries.
Yeah, again, thanks. Yeah, thanks for the race. Again, that's an excellent way to put it, Wayne. I couldn't say it better myself. We're all human, and one of the things that I actually enjoy most about the tournament, not that we want people to mess up, but it's seeing what happens when people do mess up. When it's, oh boy, we're down bombs, or what's he going to do now? He's got no arrows, or having to think on the fly and change routing. I think that's the funnest part about watching tournament races for me. So. Also, I guess Sirius wants me to watch TR, so if you guys are interested, I'm gonna watch TR on my stream and watch it back, and then
just
before
the try next fight, and it would
just watch the try next fight. Okay, I will.
You get the
watch
experiment.
that.
Mostly the first one. The second one was also an adventure, but it wasn't as interesting of an adventure. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. GG's again, Bydey.
All right, and with that, we're going to go and wrap it up here. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. We're going to go raid ZSR3 right now. They have a cross keys match between he's commentating, between Gamachu and Lin for the randomizer cross keys tournament. But first, coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, we have a Wind Waker randomizer Season 5 tournament match between Spytron and Ryu Kane. At 5:30 p.m. Eastern, we have a Zelda 2 randomizer match between Nivmanva and Pickles and Beer. And at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, we have another Link to the Past NMG League match between Spleeby and Chiamo. So hope you all find some of you all watch tomorrow. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you had a wonderful time and have a fantastic rest of your night. Bye!